All right, we are starting the general meeting, and we have Audrey, Erica, Karen, Michelle, and Sarah Esther here. And so Lissa Town Hall is on February 12th at 5 p.m. in room 227 in the School of Education building. And we will just basically kind of talk about and hear about the program and where the program is going. And I'm sure Alyssa will kind of just give some updates about where we are. But of course, if anybody wants to talk about things that we're talking about right now, then feel free to email or jump in at any point. Oh, yes. And then there's a Alyssa resource website where we collect all the info about events and CritLib and resources that can help with things in your library. And so the link is in the chat. Uh, the career day is getting set up. It is right now just sort of being formulated, but the day is February 22nd, and it's going to be held in room 227 in the School of Education building. If we need extra rooms, then we'll let you know about any of that. And it's right now hypothetically going to start at 9. That's what we're going to plan for, but I'm still getting the schedule still together. Yeah, if you have a suggestion for what you'd like to see at Career Day, we'd be happy to have your suggestions. Right now, we're thinking maybe some mock interviews, some just discussions about what it's like to interview both in person and online, and a resume/CV workshop, and a couple of sessions just to kind of hear what people are doing in their own career fields and the kind of steps they took to get there. Okay. And then there's an instruction session that is taking place at Bennett College, which we had talked about last semester as something that we wanted to get started. Um, and that instruction is Wednesday, February 5th at 11 a.m. If you are interested in going, please email before you head over there, just because um, Bennett is really small. And we also want to make sure that we're able to deliver the very best instructional and information literacy session as possible. And that way, um, it doesn't quite overwhelm the students, and we're able to give them the very best time that we can, especially since, for us, it's extracurricular. We're just like, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to try teaching. Um, but for them, it's real life. For them, it's their real class. They get a grade for it. And so we want to make sure that they have the very best, most positive experience that they can have. And then if you're interested in tech and cataloging opportunities, uh, Bennett College has also got some things going on there that they might want some free help with. So feel free to email me if you are interested in that. And that is all I've got. That's it.
Okay. As far as for communications, we have the CritLib chat is coming up soon. Also, that's another event that we are sponsoring through Lissa, and that is going to be on February the 8th at 10 a.m. That is a Saturday morning. So we're hoping that we will have a lot of people attending that with us. We are going to have Dr. Velez and Deborah Caldwell from UNCG's library there to talk with us about the book So You Want to Talk About Race. It would be great if you could read the book before, but if not, we have it planned in such a way that you can definitely still get a lot of information about the topic, about talking about race. So we do hope we have a lot of people attend. Please, please, please. The link for that is on our resource site, and I will share that after I get through talking also directly in the chat with you. We also have diversity resources posted for January. January's topic is Black History Month, to help support librarians who are working on programming for February. And our new resources will go up on the 1st of the month, and those will be associated with women's history. And let's see what else. Okay, social media. We have 456 Facebook followers, 371 Twitter followers, and 234 Instagram followers. And we do appreciate when you follow us on social media and like our posts, because the way the algorithms work, the more people like them or comment on them, the more people see them. And that's definitely what we want, is as many students as possible to see the events that we have planned. That's mostly what we talk about on social media. So please check us out there. And I think that was it for me.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Sarah Esther, do you want to kind of jump ahead here, just to kind of preview for everybody? Normally we do have Dylan here as our president, but he's at his practicum, and Noel can't make it today. But and then we're searching for a treasurer, but for now, there's not really anything to update in those areas. Okay, so you can go ahead, Sarah Esther, if you have anything you would like to share. Karen, anything you want to share?
All right, so we had a meetup in Cary last week, and that was pretty successful. It's good to meet some of my classmates. These are really good opportunities to meet people in the program. We're going to have another one on February 21st at the Elizabeth's Pizza on West Friendly Avenue in Greensboro, North Carolina at 6 p.m. So if you can, just let me know through email or even just respond on the event post. But if you respond, try to if you change your mind and you're not going to come, just change your response to no so that we can have a semi-accurate count of who is able to make it. So yeah, so I'll be there, and it would be great to meet everyone.
Thanks, Karen. And Sarah Esther, if you want to put anything in the chat, you can, or you want to unmute yourself, you can also do that. It's whatever works best for you. So, while we're kind of waiting and listening, I think there was one other question that had come up about CritLib. Michelle, did you want to kind of recap everybody on the question for discussion here?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. It has been brought to our attention that some people on the library staff would like to attend our next CritLib meeting. Those meetings are typically meant for students as a place that they can talk openly about a conversation that may be difficult to have. And the whole idea is that we're just all trying to learn from one another. So just to raise this question, normally those meetings are posted to YouTube, so they aren't 100% private, because like if you ask a question or whatever, it is there on YouTube and anyone can watch whatever's on YouTube. But that is something we would like to talk about. If anyone has objections to those being posted on YouTube, that would be one thing that we could talk about. And then the other thing is if anyone would have objections to library staff attending the CritLib discussion on February the 8th.
So, prior to the meeting starting, like the actual CritLib meeting starting, maybe we could just ask, just like we would hopefully for the one in April too, hey, this is typically something that we post on YouTube. Is that okay? And if we can get some consent on that, maybe that would be something that would give people a little bit more comfort. And then we would be able to say, these people know that we're just being transparent basically, and say, hey, this is what's happening. And if they know and they choose to consent and stay, then great. And if they say, no, I would really rather not it be posted, then also great. Understandable. So maybe just by being transparent, we can kind of resolve that half.
So should we be letting the library people attend? They're interested?
Yeah, that was my next thing. Thoughts on that? Anybody want to jump in on that? Oh, Erica says transparency is great. If I could attend these meetings, I think I would. Definitely be reluctant to sharing knowing that they'd be posted. Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Erica. And we could just continue to ask and continue to kind of figure out best ways and best practices for making sure that people feel comfortable attending the meetings. Of course, we don't want to be exclusionary with what we've learned, right? We don't want to be exclusionary with the knowledge. So if people say no to the idea of consenting, having it posted, maybe there's just like a recap that we could post, like here's some things that we discussed and things we talked about, like a summary versus like, here's the actual post itself or the actual link itself. Yeah, it is more anonymous. You're right, Karen. I would hesitate to have employees from the university attend, where students are kind of trying to figure things out. And I say that because not necessarily that we will all end up working at UNCG, because we probably won't, right? There's a strong possibility that we will all leave and go to the new whole world out there in the library field. But the library world is particularly small. And the idea that there is a sense of leverage, economic leverage at that, that these employees, though well intentioned, could possibly present does make me a bit uncomfortable. Does that make sense? If I can't really, I mean, I can try to articulate a little bit more clearly. Um, but the idea that like there's a sense of social and economic leverage that if I were to express an opinion that's just simply a question, but could be perceived in a way that is perhaps uncomfortable or maybe not as finely tuned to where we are currently as a culture, that that can be something that can be like, well, did you know I heard her say this in a meeting, and it doesn't feel like being held accountable for your ideas. It feels like using that safe space, or possibly having using that safe space no longer making it safe. So that's kind of where I stand on the issue. Um, and right, it shouldn't happen, and the likelihood that it will would is super super low. It's almost non-existent. But there is like this opportunity now, right? There's this like um, this possibility that it could happen, but obviously it won't. But the idea that you sort of open a door to invite it in does make me a little concerned. Okay, so that's where I stand. Everybody knows. Um, Typically, Dr. Velez is there, and we also typically have some other librarian there, but it is normally um, the students, the students kind of helping get things starting, facilitating it, asking questions. Um, every time I've been there, uh, it's really been a conversation that we kind of have with Dr. Velez and with the other experts in the room, but it's not, there hasn't really been any reason to like be concerned about mediating. Yeah, yeah. I think that there are a couple, Michelle, you can correct me on this. There are a couple that are posted already that would kind of give the layout for how they typically operate.
Right. They are on our LISA resources site, and we have posted all of them to CritLib. So they're on our CritLib, on our LISA YouTube. We have posted them all to YouTube, so they're on our YouTube channel also. But typically what happens is it's led by students, and we have a speaker who is a facilitator for the conversation who would know more about that conversation topic than we do. And in this case, it is Dr. Velez and Deborah Caldwell are going to talk with us about this book because they've obviously digested it on a different level than someone who is coming in new to the topic. So that's the way this month's session is going to be. And then in April, we're planning on having one on mental health. And we don't have a plan for that one quite yet. So if anyone has ideas on a way to approach that topic, I would love to hear about them.
So, does anybody else want to share or say anything? That kind of adds to this conversation before we kind of come to a consensus about what we want to decide. Okay, so everybody knows kind of where I stand. on the issue, but I'm happy to do or email Dylan and Olivia, who is in contact with the employees at Jackson, what we have ultimately decided. So wherever you guys decide as the direction we should go, then I'm happy to email back about that. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, and I'll put it into the chat box. Um,
That sounds good to me. And if if the answer to number one is yes, consent is fine for everyone attending, then also the employees, the library employees would be welcome to watch the video. I could post it on YouTube at that point, and everyone would be able to listen in.
that sounds perfect. And I'll put that in the email that way that they know kind of what the process is. And I'll link them to our resources right away so that they can always look. Thanks for helping us, everybody. Thanks for helping us work through it. Because it's important that we make sure that everybody feels comfortable, but also that that at the end of the day, students are learning and growing, and that can be really hard to do under some circumstances. Okay. I don't really have anything else. I think that's all I've got. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to share or say, or any announcements about like going on in your personal life, like you got a new job or you got a new puppy? And if you have pictures, you can always share your puppy. Um, Anything at all? Oh, yes. Our next meeting is February 17th at 9 a.m. And you can join us at 9 a.m. in the School of Education Building 458, which I am in here right now. You're welcome to join me. Or you can join via WebEx in the link here, which is the room that we hold it in. Anything else at all? That's right. Sarah Esther, I'm so sorry. I missed that. Okay. The first GSA meeting is Tuesday, February 11th, 5:15 to 6:15 p.m. in the School of Education 206. And I think you said that they were serving pizza. If you eat pizza, that is awesome. And yep, they encourage everyone to attend to share their concerns about graduate student life at UNCG and offer suggestions on the ways that GSA can help. All graduate students are welcome, and if you can go, you're always welcome to go. I know that a lot of people have class that night, including me, so Sarah Esther will be there, which we really appreciate. Thank you so much, Sarah Esther, for being willing to go to these GSA meetings. And I think that's all. I do know that they're searching for a treasurer. You can actually vote on that if you go to the meeting. So, oh, thanks, Sarah Esther. That if you go to the meeting, you can vote on it. So if that's something that you're interested in, go for it. Okay, anything else? All right. So I am going to suggest or make a motion, any of those, they're all synonyms, um, that we close the meeting. Anybody else? Yay, thanks, Karen. All right. Okay, I will see you guys at the next meeting or around campus, and I hope you have a good rest of your week.